In probably batch number, I don't remember exactly, in 2023, when one of the batches of English medium, I had told students that you should prepare while preparing for prelims. You should prepare for not one set, but for 4 probable sets of question papers. One set should be a paper in which there could be 70 questions from static parts and 30 from current affairs. One second, another set you should prepare on completely dynamic set where there could be only 20-25, maximum 30 questions on static part and 70 questions on dynamic. Not only current affairs, but dynamic means interdisciplinary and randomly picked up questions. Random questions. Not random means not necessarily belonging to a particular subject, but picked up from any source. But those any sources are very much relevant. I have since 2000, I don't know, remember since when. Since I started my journey, I knew it very well that UPSC may ask question from any source. But that any source was also very much defined to me, at least it was defined to me, and I knew when I told to myself any source, then it was clear that it is government sources and it is international institutions, international law, international treaties, and United Nations associated bodies. So the anything was somehow defined to me. It was never absolutely lost to me. So anything had a purpose and had a meaning, at least to me, and it was very much clear. Third set you must prepare, that should be a mixture of maybe 60 and 40 or 40 and 60 of dynamic and static questions. And a fourth set you must prepare for a question paper in which the questions are not direct from the subject you have studied, but they have indirect relation with that subject. For example, polity. So the direct source is constitution and the constitutional provisions, but indirect source may be the laws and the political history related with constitution. Similarly, in history, so direct source is ancient, medieval, and modern, but the indirect means that something related to history that is happening in present. Indirect. Similarly, in environment and ecology, there are some static parts, but something is happening related with static part in present. Some debates are going on, some bills are being discussed, some international negotiations are going on. So those topics. If you are prepared for 4 probable patterns or 4 probable question papers, this is what I said in a batch, then only and only then your prelims preparation is done. And I always said that prelims is the most difficult stage, because not because of the test of merit, it's because mainly of the uncertainty and unpredictability. What happened in 2024, a paper came in which there were 80 question from static sources. A student who scored around 100 plus was so much excited that he started ridiculing me, and he made it a rumor amongst the students that he and like him, many other teachers, they just try to scare the students. They are just trying to scare and terrify the students. So when students say something in the student group, then it carried much more weightage than the teachers saying something amongst the students, certainly. Especially when that student qualified prelims, then he became the new hero and the symbol of trust. Next year again in 2025, the static parts dominated. So it was almost clear that I am demolished. But I knew very well that this is what UPSC has been doing since its inception. Since its beginning, UPSC has been doing it. Maybe 1 year or 2 year, one pattern is followed, but the next year the pattern is going to change. Our experience, our conclusions are based on the pattern decoding of 40 years. And then I have realized that after decoding and studying and researching 40 years pattern, that maximum 2 years UPSC continues one pattern, and after that they will certainly change the pattern, and altogether and shocking and surprising new pattern will be exploded, and then the new students will be devastated. Now it happened in 2026. An altogether unpredictable pattern emerged, but it was not unpredictable. Those who have studied the PYQs for 40 years, they know it very well that it's going to happen. Whenever I say it to students that please study and solve PYQ, they think that sir is suggesting that we should memorize the questions from PYQs and some questions may be repeated. That is not the intention of referring to you that PYQ. The purpose of asking and requesting you to study PYQ is to enable you to decode for yourself the pattern, the hidden pattern. And I have always said there are 4 patterns. If you are prepared for 4 patterns, then whichever question paper comes, you are prepared for it. But since students are in a hurry and they don't want to give much time for the preparation of prelims, they think that just after coming out of coaching institute they will crack it. That's foolhardy. Unless there is a gap of at least 18 months effectively. There may be a gap of 1 year also, 12 to 18 months. After completing coaching, you must have studied for yourself, by yourself, for at least 12 months and 12 to 18 months. You are not going to do it. And that too devotedly for 4 patterns. If you have been preparing only on one pattern, then certainly you may crack if your luck was good, because it may happen that the pattern for which you are preparing, the pattern is repeated, the pattern is asked. But it may not happen always. It may not happen for other students. And that's why what happens, after having cleared prelims 2 times, the 3rd time and 4th time they fail. Why did they fail? Because they thought that the same pattern is going to be repeated. So in a static part, when they were scoring 100, they thought this is their normal score. But the fact was that was not your normal capacity. The pattern changed and you are finished. So those who are scoring 100, now they have been cut down to 70. Even at 70, you may clear it, but you may miss it by 1 or 2 questions. So this year, those who have scored 70, 95% they are going to make it. 95%. So there is no point on crying over the spilt milk. If you were not selected even after scoring 90, then what is the fun of scoring 90? But if you are selected even when you score 70, then which one is important? Selection with 70 is more important than the rejection with 90. So in first attempt, a student who is really serious and mature and wants to make it in the very first attempt, you must devote 18 months for prelims only after having completed coachings करने के बाद 18 months. Prepare for 4 pattern. It's going to happen. So those students who tried to ridicule me, who tried to make mockery of me because some static part came in 1 or 2 years, I have to stay in this field, and I have been staying in this field for last 20 years. So I can't suggest to students to prepare on the pattern of one particular year. I have to suggest that there are 4 hidden pattern, and UPSC asks questions on those 4 patterns. If you are prepared for 4 patterns, then suppose if you cleared prelims in one attempt and if you couldn't clear it in the next attempt, then the next attempt also you have to appear. I don't want to guide the students who came here for one year so. I think and I presume that the students whom I am guiding, they are going to stay in the battlefield unless they finally make it. You have been given 6 attempts. I think my job is to take you along till you are selected. And if you have been given 6 attempts, then if you couldn't make it in 3rd attempt, you must rise, you must awake and prepare for 4th attempt. Maybe you are selected in the 5th attempt. The chance and the probability of your selection in the 5th attempt is 99%. But when you are preparing for 1st and 2nd attempt, then your chances were less than 50%. So when should I capitalize on? When you had the chance of 50% or when you had the chance of 99%? I am quite hopeful at the second and the later stage than when you have the chance of 99%. So after completing coaching classes, which may have run for maybe 2 years also, but now we are completing the classes within 18 months, and now the new batches are being cleared within 12 to 14 months only. After having completed the classes, you are honest only when 12 months you have devoted exclusively for the revision of the classes, and then 6 months for your own self preparation. So instead of being caught in the web of pessimism and negativism, redefine the goal, redefine the objective, redefine the schedule and strategy. The people will, the social media especially, it's a headless chicken. It's a headless chicken. They're just crying without any soul. There is no soul. Okay, thank you.